Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So Liberty University is the perfect example of how all of us get roped into paying for the right's political endeavors under the guise of religion. And now we have audio proof of their BS and their game. So here's the deal. Organizations like Liberty University get to pretend that they're just these God-loving organizations here to preach the good word. All the while, they're exploiting their nonprofit status. They're raking in millions of tax-free dollars. And then they use that money to promote their alt-right, anti-woman, anti-LGBTQ, hate-filled extremist views. Then they bitch about the price tag on free healthcare and things like, housing and food for the poor. Yeah, so Christian of them, right? Yeah, no, we don't want to pay taxes on the money we're raking in because we're a nonprofit and we're a Christian organization. But we don't want to actually do anything that Jesus supposedly said in the Bible. We don't want to help feed people. We don't want to cure their illnesses and give them health care. We don't want to give them food, shelter, and clothing. We don't want to help them in any way, shape, or form. And God knows we want to judge them. We want to absolutely be their judge and jury and tell them what they can and can't do. While all the while bitching about freedom in America, and liberty, especially religious liberty. Seriously, but how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to pay for that? That's all we hear from conservatives all the time. Yet their churches and their so-called conservative colleges don't pay any money in taxes or very little. You know how we could pay for all of it? All of those things that Jesus tells you to do in the Bible, that Bible that they like to thump when it suits them. Pay your damn taxes, bastards. It is such a hypocritical, anti-Christian grift. I would almost be impressed by it, how they've managed to so utterly and completely confuse and trick their religious followers into believing we should believe everything in the Bible. We should follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, but we don't want to help anybody. We should not help anyone, and we should keep all of our money to ourselves. What was that thing in the Bible about a wealthy man having less of a chance of making it into heaven than a camel making it through the eye of a needle? Yeah, I guess they forgot about that. I would be, like I said, I would be very, very impressed by how good they are at this grift if I wasn't so disgusted by it. Anyway, I digress. So Politico, this is why I'm bringing it up. Politico just reported, or last week reported, on a leaked call between Liberty University, their new president, because remember, Falwell had to step down after his little indiscretions. So he stepped down. There's a new president. His name is Jerry Prevost. And a university official named Scott Lamb were on a call. In this call, Prevost told Lamb that he wants their college think tank to work at getting more conservatives elected. Prevost told him, quote, "Are they getting people elected, which is one of our main goals? Are they really motivating our conservative people to really get out to vote? If they are, we ought to be seeing some changes in elected officials. And we are to some extent. All I want to do is to make us more effective." So Lamb questioned this directive. He noted to Prevost, he said, we're risking our 501c3 nonprofit status by getting too involved in politics. He didn't say it in those exact words, but that was the gist of it. Well, Prevost apparently told him in this call that he recorded I have a 501c3 church. For 30 years, I've known how to handle that and not get in trouble. The homosexual community has tried to take me down for at least 30 years, and they have not been successful because I know how to work the 50c3. As I said, Lamb is the one who leaked this call. He actually had it recorded and he leaked it himself. And here's why. He filed a lawsuit against Liberty University, and he alleges that they fired him in early October because he questioned these directives and he questioned how it might affect the college's nonprofit status. So after he went to them and said, hey, I don't know if we should be doing this. I don't know if this is legit, if this is on the up and up. We might want to follow the rules as Christians. They fired him. So he says. He also claims that this retaliatory firing was due to the fact that he expressed concern about how the university had been handling sexual assault and harassment reports. So that's another thing that came out recently, that, they basically have, of course, turning the victim into the perpetrator, turning, these women typically into the ones who should be ashamed and they've done something wrong. And in addition to the call that Lamb recorded and then leaked, he told journalists about another meeting that had taken place in April of this year. And apparently in it, they discussed how to organize and oppose legislation introduced by Democrats, including H.R. 1 and H.R. 5. H.R. 1, by the way, I've talked about before. It's all about protecting voter rights. It's about stopping big money from influencing our lawmakers so that, people who don't have money actually can maybe make some money. People who are the most vulnerable in our society maybe can get a hand up and get somewhere in life and not have to live in poverty. Again, those things preached about in the Bible. Of course, organizations like Liberty University want to prevent that bill from being passed. They absolutely want to be able to bribe our lawmakers and pull their strings to get them to do what? To get them to help the poor, to get them to give everybody health insurance, get them to give housing to our homeless population, which happens to be a lot of veterans. Oh, no, not for that. No, just to control women's bodies. That's it. So in attendance at that April meeting was Prevo, this new guy, the new president, Jerry Falwell's brother, Jonathan, televangelist nut job, Paula White, who you probably remember doing her, the Lord says it is done. The Lord said it is done. That woman, that crazy nut. And then Donald Trump's Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. Yeah, because, separation of church and state and all that good stuff that they preach about. Why is he sitting in on these meetings? If this is not about politics, it's just about, getting people to do the right thing. And White, the Lord says this is done, lady. Anyway, she apparently got Trump on her cell phone while they were in this meeting so that he could take part in the conversation. Liberty University's tax exempt status should be revoked immediately. They are absolutely not interested in actual Christian values, in what it actually says in the Bible. All they want to do is keep as much money as they can in their pockets, control women, keep them down where they believe we belong, and that's it. That's it. No welcoming the stranger, no feeding the poor, no taking in the destitute. Yeah, none of that. When they start advocating for that kind of stuff, when they actually step up to the plate and start walking the walk instead of just talking the talk, maybe people will actually start going back to church again. maybe they'll actually see attendance start to rise instead of people turning against religion. But they're not going to do that because it means less money in their pockets. And really, that's their most important goal. Anyway, guys, I'll keep you posted on this if I hear any more. As always, thanks so much for watching, listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.